At our daughter's graduation, my wife was crying, but not because she was proud. I saw her sneaking glances at a man 3 rows behind me. When she got up to use the bathroom, I followed. They were kissing in the hallway, behind a trophy case. I walked away, sat back down, and smiled for the group photo. That night, I printed the picture and drew an arrow above the man's head with the words, "The real reason she missed rehearsal." Let me take you back to June 14th, 2023. Allentown, Pennsylvania. Our daughter Morgan was graduating from Ridgeway High. Honors student, volleyball captain, full scholarship to Pitt. She earned every bit of that moment. That morning, everything felt off. Janet, my wife of 22 years, was quiet. Not tired, not busy, off. She didn't help zip up Morgan's gown or check her makeup like she always did. She just sat at the kitchen table, staring at her phone like it owed her money. She'd skipped the graduation rehearsal the night before. Said she had a migraine. Morgan was crushed, but I covered for Janet, told our daughter it was probably stress. That she'd be all in today. She nodded but didn't smile. We got to the gym about an hour early. Morgan had to check in with her class. I found our seats up front, row 2, right side. I saved a spot for Janet. She showed up 10 minutes before the start, dressed a little more done up than usual. Nice dress, extra makeup, hair curled. I noticed, but didn't say anything. I was just glad she came. She kissed my cheek, but didn't hold my hand. Didn't look at me. And once the names started being called, that's when I noticed her eyes. They weren't on the stage. They weren't on Morgan. She was looking behind us. Over and over. Like clockwork. Like someone would vanish if she stopped. So I turned a bit in my seat, just enough to catch a look behind me. 3 rows back, slightly off to the right, was a man I didn't recognize. Balding, maybe early 50s, short beard, too tan for June in PA. Wearing a pale blue button-up and khakis. Gold chain. Sitting alone. Arms crossed like he didn't give a damn about who was graduating. He wasn't watching the stage either. He was watching her. I turned back around. My stomach sank. I didn't want to believe what I was seeing. I didn't want this day to turn into that kind of day. About halfway through the ceremony, Janet leaned over and whispered, "I have to pee. I'll be back." I nodded. Didn't say a word. 30 seconds later, I stood up too. Told the guy next to me I was stretching my legs. I walked out the side gym door, into the hallway. Quiet out there. Just echoes of names being read and some clapping. Then I heard it. Soft laughter. A hush. Then silence. I followed the sound past the concession stand. Then I saw them. By the trophy case near the backstairs. He was standing too close. She was leaned against the wall. His hand was on her waist. Her eyes were closed. They kissed. Not a quick one. Not a goodbye. A slow one. Her hands were on his shoulders. I stood there for maybe 5 seconds. Long enough to feel my heart break in slow motion. Then I turned. Walked back in. Sat down. Didn't say a damn thing. Janet came back 10 minutes later. Out of breath. Smiling. I smiled back. I clapped when Morgan walked. I took the photo with the whole family like nothing happened. That night, I sat alone in the kitchen. Printed the photo out. The one we took after the ceremony, all of us standing in front of the school sign. In the background, near the bushes, just barely visible, was that same man. I grabbed a red Sharpie and wrote, "The real reason she missed rehearsal," drew a big arrow to his head. Pinned it to the fridge. The next morning, Janet walked into the kitchen. She stopped cold. Looked at the photo. Then looked at me. She didn't say a word. Neither did I. But this story isn't over. Not even close. She didn't say a word, but her face told me everything. Her eyes darted back and forth between the photo and me. Her mouth opened slightly like she might explain, but nothing came out. Then she turned and walked out of the kitchen. I heard our bedroom door shut soft but firm. Morgan came down 10 minutes later, hair messy, wearing her new Pitt hoodie. She stopped when she saw the photo. She leaned in, read the words, stared at the arrow. Then she looked at me. "Dad," she said quietly, "what is this?" I took a deep breath. I wasn't going to lie to her. Not now. Your mom was kissing that man during your graduation. I saw it. She didn't know I was there. Morgan blinked. Once. Twice. Then her mouth dropped open. "No. No way," she said. "You're kidding." "That's no." "I wish I was," I told her. But I followed her when she went to the bathroom. He was waiting for her. She sat down hard at the table. She didn't cry, not right away. She just sat there, staring at the floor like she was trying to rewind her entire memory of the day. Finally, she whispered, "Was that why she missed rehearsal too?" I nodded. Morgan didn't talk to her mother for 2 days. Janet tried to act like nothing happened. She'd walk around the house quieter, soft stepping like guilt made her feet heavier. She cooked dinner like usual, folded laundry. But we weren't normal anymore. 3 days after graduation, Morgan was gone, off to orientation at Pitt. That same day, I waited for Janet to sit down after work. I had the photo in my hand. I slid it across the table. "I want names," I said. She didn't play dumb. She didn't ask what I meant. She just looked down, then whispered, "Kevin." "Kevin what?" "Kevin Mercier. We went to high school together. He moved back last year. We reconnected." "How long?" She winced. 6 months. My jaw clenched so tight I thought I'd break a tooth. "And you brought him to our daughter's graduation?" "I didn't bring him. He said he wanted to see her graduate. He saw the photos I posted. He remembered her from when she was little. He asked if he could come. You kissed him in the school hallway." She didn't answer that. Just looked down at her hands. I stood up, walked out of the house. I drove for 2 hours, didn't even know where I was going. Ended up in a diner off Route 78. Ate the worst patty melt of my life and just sat there in silence. I couldn't go back yet. When I did finally return, she was asleep on the couch. I didn't wake her. I couldn't. The next morning, she was already in the kitchen. She looked like she hadn't slept. "I'll move out," she said. "I'll give you the house." I know I ruined everything. I stared at her. Then I said something I didn't plan to. "No, he doesn't get you for free." She blinked. "What?" "I want him to feel what I felt. I want him to lose something too." She was quiet for a long time. Then she said, "He's married." I paused. "To who?" "Her name's Dana. She's a teacher." He told me they were separated. "Are they?" Janet looked ashamed. "No, so I got to work. I found Dana on Facebook within the hour. Then I messaged her. Dana responded that same night. She messaged me back at 11:13 p.m. Short and cold. "Meet me. Tomorrow. 4 p.m. Café Leon on Liberty Street. Don't bring her." I didn't reply. Just showed up. Café Leon was a quiet little spot with overpriced espresso and plants in every corner. Dana was already there. Mid-40s, sharp eyes, tighter jaw than her smile wanted to allow. She looked like a woman who had been hurt more than once and refused to show it again. She didn't shake my hand. "You're the husband," she said. I nodded. "And you're the wife." She pulled a file folder from her tote bag, slid it across the table. "Phone records, credit card statements, hotel receipts. I've been tracking him for months. I thought it was just one woman in Philly. Didn't know there was a Janet too." I opened the folder. There were charges from places around Allentown. A Comfort Inn. An Italian place we used to go for anniversaries. A damn candle store. "How long's he been doing this?" I asked. Dana laughed. But it was bitter, not amused. "Since 2017. That's just what I've found. There's at least 4 other women. You're just the first husband to reach out." Something twisted in my stomach. It wasn't just betrayal. It was disgust. She wasn't even special to him. Dana leaned in. "You said in your message you wanted him to feel it. That's still true. Every damn word." She nodded, slow and deliberate. "Then let's make him choke on it." We spent the next week working out the plan. She told me he had a business trip in 2 weeks, heading to Cleveland for some bogus seminar. She was staying behind. I had an idea. I convinced Janet to meet me at the house that weekend. Told her Morgan had a question about FAFSA stuff and wanted us both there. That was a lie. Morgan was still at school. When Janet showed up, Dana was already inside. I'd let her in through the back. Janet walked through the front door holding a folder and a grocery bag. She froze when she saw Dana on the couch. "Hi, Janet," Dana said calmly. Janet didn't move. "What is this?" "You met Kevin at a funeral, right?" Dana asked. "Your friend's husband. He gave the eulogy. You said he looked kind." Janet didn't answer. Dana stood up. She didn't yell. She didn't scream. She just walked up and whispered. "He said the same thing to me the day I caught him in our laundry room with a neighbor. So maybe you're not that unique." Janet looked at me. "You planned this. I needed you to hear it from someone who knows what kind of man you gave yourself to." Janet sat down, hands shaking. Dana turned to me. "We still going through with Cleveland?" "Yeah," I said, "but I have a different idea now." That's when I told her what I'd found. Kevin wasn't just cheating. He was embezzling. During all this mess, I dug deeper into his background. Found an old business partner on LinkedIn who was eager to vent. Kevin had been moving company funds through fake contracts for years, and I had the emails to prove it. Dana's eyes lit up when I showed her the folder. You ready to end him? I asked. She grinned. Let's do it right. The next 2 weeks were a blur of quiet moves. Dana got a lawyer. She filed for divorce and had her husband serve the morning he was supposed to leave for Cleveland. He didn't even make it out the door. She threw the paperwork on the bed, along with a thumb drive. That's your fake contracts folder, she told him. You forgot to lock your laptop again. He called her a bitch. She didn't blink. While he scrambled to call his office, I sent everything I had, emails, PDF contracts, fake invoices, to his employer's HR and their legal team. Anonymous tip. But detailed. Dates, attachments, account transfers. Within 48 hours, Kevin was under investigation. By the end of the week, he was fired. Quietly, but not cleanly. His reputation went up in smoke. No severance. No references. And someone tipped off the IRS too. Not saying it was me, but it was me. That's not all. I posted that photo, the graduation group shot, with the arrow and red Sharpie writing, on a private Facebook group where most of our neighborhood hangs out. Captioned it. Not everyone in this photo was here for the right reason. People noticed. People asked questions. Janet's name came up. So did Kevin's. Turns out, Kevin had flirted with at least 2 other women in our area. One was married. One was a friend of Morgan's from the school. Janet tried to stay low. She didn't leave the house for days. When she finally called me, I didn't answer. She left a message. Please, can we talk? I deleted it. But I wasn't clean either. Let's not pretend I was some kind of saint. See, in all this mess, I became obsessed. I stopped eating. Stopped sleeping. I told Morgan part of the truth, but not the worst parts. I let that hate grow inside me like mold on drywall. One night, after everything blew up, she called me from campus. Dad, are you okay? I'm fine, honey. No, you're not. You sound empty. That hit me harder than anything. Because she was right. Revenge felt good for a minute. But now I had this cold space where my marriage used to be. I'd torn everything down to punish 2 liars, and in doing it, I'd become someone I didn't recognize in the mirror. Janet moved out. She didn't beg. She didn't scream. She left me a handwritten note. I hurt you. I broke our family. I don't expect forgiveness. But I do still love our daughter, and I will stay out of your way. I'm sorry, Joe. For everything. Kevin? Last I heard, he was living in a rented room over a vape shop in Easton. Divorced, broke, and under audit. Morgan still talks to her mom slowly. Carefully. Me? I'm trying to rebuild. I'm not proud of all the steps I took. But I'm not sorry either. I needed the truth to come out. I needed him to fall. And he did. Hard. Sometimes, revenge isn't fire and fury. Sometimes it's quiet. Slow. Sharp. Like a blade slipping under the skin without warning. That's what I gave them. And now I live with the silence that came after.